All right, thank you. So let me call the meeting to order. I have 8:31. Turn that off. I don't see Mike Malloy on, so Jeff Hecht, I saw you before. Are you still here? Yes. So you'll be a voting member until Mike joins. And otherwise we have Oliver, Todd, Jim, and myself. All right. All right. Is there any public comment? I don't see any public here.
Let's see. There's okay, I just am admitting Mike is on right now. There's a couple Board of Ed members as far as public goes, and a couple town hall employees.
Okay.
Assessor and tax collector.
All right. Anyone? Any public have comment? Okay. I do want to point out. I want to thank Donna Murphy and Heidi for being on. We had a late phone call just maybe an hour and a half ago, just going through some scenarios and putting a fine point on some things that we don't need now. But thank you. In case we have some questions, hopefully we'll get through the part with the mill rate setting pretty quickly. And if you haven't heard or seen in the chat, the referendum did pass by a pretty good margin, 546 to 389. So we'll be working on the referendum passed agenda track here. With that, and by the way, since this is a special meeting, there's no ability to add items to the agenda, so we're going to be living with the agenda we have here. So the next agenda item is acceptance of the June 18th minutes. Is there a motion?
I can make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second Todd's motion.
All right, thank you. Okay, are there any discussion about the minutes? All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstention? Jim, were you opposed or was I late?
Sorry, the camera's a little behind.
Okay. Right,
Jim would have recused himself. He wasn't there or abstained.
Okay. Any
Right.
abstentions? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I have Jim abstaining and the motion carries. All right. Any communication or correspondence that anyone needs to bring up? All right. New business, setting a mill rate. So we had mill rate that we put in our materials. Does anybody have any questions for the tax collector or the assessor that they want to understand about the mill rate? Okay. Yeah. I wanted them here in case we were on the other path. So then I would think we published that we anticipated setting a mill rate at 29.8 in the materials that Oliver presented at the town meeting. So I would entertain a motion to set the mill rate. And that's for everything, real estate, personal property, and motor vehicles. So is there a motion?
I can make the motion to set the mill rate at 29.8 for everything.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. And is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? I think not everybody said aye. Abstention? Okay, the motion carries. Donna and Heidi, thank you. You're welcome to stay. I don't anticipate we have any questions for you from here. Thank you so much. let's see, item 5B was to clarify guidelines to the BOS and BOE. We had asked for the September meeting that you come back with updated capital plans last time. What I didn't state last time was to please add another fiscal year out at the end. So please add fiscal 29 to 30, so it continues to be a 5-year plan. Just wanted to make that request in public. Any questions about that? All right. Item 5C, consider an act on general government line item transfers if needed. It has us on here anticipating there might be some, but Eden, I didn't see any communication to that effect from you or Jay. So is there a walk-on or can we pass this?
Nope. Nothing more.
Okay. Okay. Consider we had a capital request. So it was one that came in. It's the same one that had come in last month, right?
One of them, the tires for the fire apparatus.
Okay. So we had wanted to, I think in general, we had wanted to not spend capital until we saw a plan that took into effect the reduced funding. But we also said if there was something that's urgent or an opportunity like last time we'd hear it. So is there an urgency on this one? This is the same one. This is part of one we saw, right?
It's the same one. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So out of all the tires they asked for, I guess 6, I was just going to expound on it a bit more.
Sure.
There's a 7-year life for emergency apparatus tires or emergency tires. They're longer for public works and other uses. There's out of all the tires they asked for, there's 16 of them were handed to us basically on the used apparatus that we purchased, and we had a company go over the vehicles, and it was just something that they overlooked, I guess, and didn't tell us that. Or no, actually, the trucks were just sold with those on them. The trucks were sold to us with the used tires on them, so that's why those have to get replaced. As far as the other tires, when our public works took over the maintenance of the vehicle, of the apparatus at the fire department, they're the ones who noticed that the tires had expired and had been overlooked or just not noticed by whoever was taking care of the apparatus previously. Didn't look at the life of the tires. So once DPW took over everything, they inspected them all, and they were the ones that came up with the list. So we do have our head mechanic at Public Works. He is putting together a replacement schedule for the future so that we're not replacing all of them at once in 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So put together a schedule of replacement so that we can put aside money for it. And we're hoping to do that out of the operating budget in the repair line.
Okay, and from the capital, this would be coming from the fire department modernization line?
Yes.
Is that okay? Which is okay. All right. Any questions for Eden? All right. And I do have one question. Just one quote. Is this like a state vendor? Is that why we have one quote, or somebody we've done business before?
I believe so. Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Is there is there a motion on the capital items?
It's just this one capital item for the 26,272 spot 6.8, is that what we're doing?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
All right. So you want a motion for like 27,000 with all unexpected, unspent funds to be returned to the town?
I thought the request was to not exceed 26,500.
Yeah, they have that on the cover letter.
Okay.
So 26.5.
I can do a motion for 26.5 then, with all unspent funds being returned.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstention? Okay, motion carries. Okay, public comment. Any public? There's no more public here. Okay.
I don't see anything. I'm just looking. I don't see anything. I just wanted to add, it's come up at a couple meetings. If there was a board member not at a meeting, they can still make changes to and vote on meeting minutes from previous minutes, just as a heads up.
They can even if they weren't in attendance?
Yes, according to Robert's rules. Minutes of a meeting are approved at the beginning of the next scheduled meeting. A member's absence from a meeting does not preclude that member from offering corrections to the minutes or voting for their approval.
Interesting.
It came up at a different meeting, which is why I had that screenshot on my phone already.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's for future. And I do not see any anything in the chats.
Okay. Just a reminder, the regular schedule has a Board of Finance meeting next Thursday that I'll be canceling. Next Tuesday, the 16th. That was our regular date. I don't intend to call that meeting. I'd like to also not call the August meeting if possible. So if things can wait till the September meeting, great. If they can't, we'll do it in August, but just want to put that out there. All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. All right. Hey, and thank you, everyone. I know it's been a long.
Hey, Jeff, before we close out, did we get the guidance question numbers or did you provide those?
The guidance question number somebody put in the chat.
Yeah, Jeff.
Were we provided them as the Board of Finance from the town clerk or anybody?
I was provided the overall vote total from the town clerk, which matches what's in the chat. I was not provided the guidance.
So I assume the town meeting.
They're published on the website.
Get up on that floor!
Oh,
Was that the results?
I think you said they're already up on the website.
Is that correct?
Yes, the
That's
unofficial
correct.
results.
From I pulled them from
Okay.
I'll find. All right. Good.
All right. So we had a motion to adjourn and a second, I think. Is all those in favor say aye?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention? All right. Thank you all.